Hello, gorgeous. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Give Them Lala podcast. Before we deep dive into it all, I need to remind you to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and make sure you comment on this video because I love to bump gums. Thank you. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome back to the Give Them Lala podcast. How are we all doing today, Easton?
Amazing.
Amazing, Jessica.
So good.
How are you?
I'm feeling really, really great. We've had like a pretty fantastic week. It's been very eventful.
Very eventful.
Very eventful. Before we get into all the things, I want to let you guys know that we have officially dropped a bonus episode, and we will be dropping bonus episodes every single Monday. They will be out exactly where you find this regular podcast, and you will also find the videos on the YouTube channel, and the bonus episode audio and video drop the same day every Monday. You're welcome.
Woohoo!
Make a big deal about it, Easton. Like, do you even care?
Well, yeah,
It's
honestly,
kind of a big deal.
it is a very big
No,
deal.
it's very
I'm
exciting.
It is.
And people have been asking, they're like, I want to listen to you twice a week. Well, your wish is our command.
And we're here for it.
Yeah,
I enjoy recording these.
I do
I'm
too.
always happy to be in here.
And the bonus is shorter, so you're not going to get annoyed with us. You know, we're still leaving you with
Wanting more.
wanting more, missing us a bit. And the bonus episodes are much more structured, where I want to bring you guys in a little bit more. We're going to have topics rather than just me and my friends
ADHDing
rambling
around the clock.
Yeah.
They're so fun, though. The topics so far are so good, and you guys are all being so active writing it. So thank you.
Are they?
Yes.
'Kay,
I'm
good.
trying to fix this arm, which you'll probably see on the video, and it keeps falling, so that's okay.
I've-
Maybe I'll go like this. Yeah, better. Fixed it.
I think that's how you're supposed to do it anyway.
Oh.
I have been off social media. What's going on the internet or on social media?
First off, can you tell us why?
I am in a mode of protecting my energy right now and kind of incubating and creating a very positive environment for myself at this stage in my life. I don't feel that I need to really see what's going on in people's worlds that have nothing to do with my worlds. I want to live in reality and just protect my well-being right now. And I'm not saying that I won't be on socials again soon, but I've been off since I want to say Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been absolutely fabulous. So I've been out and about.
Right.
You know, I've been on Katie's socials, but I don't feel any desire to see what other people are doing, nor do I have a desire to show people what I'm doing.
I love it.
Love this for you. And
You
I
do?
encourage, yes, I always encourage people. I encourage Mr. Bubs all the time is to take a social media break, even if it's a day.
Yeah.
I know you're doing longer, but that makes me happy.
My buddy Jake,
Yeah.
he put like restrictions on his apps.
I
yes.
love
So like
that.
yeah, so he can only be on like Instagram for like 20 minutes of the day.
Okay.
So after that, it just kicks him off. So I think that's like a really good thing to do. But I like going cold turkey too.
Yeah, I just don't
You don't need
I feel really happy. Like
Good.
mentally I feel pretty strong. And I think that's because social media has not been in my line of vision
Right.
for a while.
Well, let me ask you something. So this is because you asked what's going on socials, and just so people are aware in case anything big happens before this comes out. We're recording this on January 19th. The premiere for Vanderpump Rules that we've already seen because we saw it at the premiere party the other night is that comes out on the 30th. Will you get back on socials for that, or will you especially ignore socials for that?
I will not be back on social media
Okay.
for the first episode. I don't see myself getting back on socials for a while.
Mhm.
Maybe if I think something is worth posting, like the Emmy look, I was like, that needs to be posted. So I sent the photos that I wanted to Jessica, and Jessica has access to my Instagram.
And
I
put 'em
said,
up.
make this the caption, and then like, we're good.
It's really, that was a stunning look, by the way.
No, I definitely don't think I'm going to get back on, especially for the first episode.
Right. Well, for socials, as far as right now, there's some talk I saw this morning about Rachel, episode 2. Do you want to touch on that? Rachel's podcast, episode 2. Do you want to touch on
There's
that at all?
another one?
Yeah, and I listened to it this morning.
And I did
Oh,
not.
did you listen to it?
I sure did.
So I have to say, Easton played me the tiniest little bit of the first episode after we recorded our podcast a couple weeks ago. And I did not think it was unbearable to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I did not find her voice to be shaky or annoying. I found it to actually be pretty interesting. Again, I only listened to the tiniest little bit, but I thought that she was good. And it was only the first episode. And Lord knows you only get better unless you're me. Then it's all downhill from the first
Not
episode.
true.
You become a little too comfortable.
That's when it gets good. But
That's
well,
good.
today when I listened to the episode, and, I won't spend too much time on it, but I agree with you. I thought she did bring up, she said, I know a lot of people are saying, I do laugh when I talk about things. It's not me being insensitive. That's what I do when I'm nervous. From someone who does the exact same thing.
Right.
I do
I
that
can
too. It's
relate.
an uncomfortable
It's
thing.
very uncomfortable.
And I said that.
laugh.
I feel like I said that. I said that she was
Yeah.
laughing, but it wasn't uncomfortable. I feel like I did touch on that when I was talking about it. I didn't think she was coming or laughing from a place of hate. It was almost like she was
Or, like, didn't
uncomfort-
care.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
She was uncomfortable. That's what you do. I've done it as well. You either laugh or you cry.
Yeah. She says something that.
Well, she usually laughs and then starts crying, and it's actually really, really sad.
No, that's
That is
It
really
happened
sad.
when we were driving to Lake Havasu, I believe. She started laughing in the back of the car and then started sobbing, and it was heartbreaking.
So basically, Rachel said something that I've heard you say before. And she said, when someone dates so quick after a breakup, it's a red flag in my mind. But then she quickly follows it up with, but who am I to judge? It's not my life.
I agree,
Mm-hmm.
but we have a podcast, so this is a platform where we talk about other people, and we wouldn't do what they do.
Yeah.
This is where we ride on our high horse. Da-da-doom, da-da-doom, da-da-doom. I think it's a huge red flag. Not only do I think it's extremely unhealthy for someone to get out of a relationship and jump into another one, but it's a red flag for me when there's a person who's willing to get into a relationship with someone who just got out of a relationship.
Right. Right. I hear you. She also brings up, so that point I thought
Can I
was
say one other
interesting.
thing?
Yeah.
When someone or people say there's no timeline to moving on, people move at their own pace, I cringe.
Same.
Do you?
You're right. It's the difference between people who are unhealthy and who are healthy.
Mm.
Yes, you're right. There is no timeline. No one says when you should or shouldn't. But if we're going to really break it down, it's really the difference between being a healthy person and being an unhealthy person.
I hear you. Can I bring this up? So Kyle was in a 4-year relationship before he met me. They broke up. We met, I think, 2 months later, and we were dating 4 months later. A lot of his friends said, dude, that is way too fast. Obviously, 7 years later and we're engaged. Maybe it wasn't too fast, but I'm just curious. What are your thoughts? If you're like, wow, that's fast, but also
I think
it
we're
worked.
coming from two different places here.
Okay.
Okay? Because when you're coming from a place of probably of normalcy, right? Sometimes couples just break up.
Yeah.
Right? And in that regard, maybe it is where you can move on quickly. Okay? I'm coming from a place of traumatic breakups.
That's a good point.
Does that make sense?
Yes, traumatic breakups,
Toxic,
cheating.
right? Or
Yeah.
or the relationship you were in was toxic, and you realize it was toxic, and then you move on. There are, see, this is where I start learning, and I eat my words. Some people call it flip flopping, but you just made an excellent point. If you're in a relationship and you two were just not right for each other, you wish each other the best. Go move on.
Mm-hmm.
But I have personally only experienced other people around me have toxic relationships, and there's usually cheating involved, and it's a very traumatic breakup.
I think that's what separates where Kyle is and
Right.
where other people are, and that's the healthy person and unhealthy. Kyle is healthy. the relationship ended, right?
Yeah.
There was no
and
cheating.
there was no cheating. It
Exactly.
wasn't from
He knew what he knows what he wants.
Yeah.
He's healthy. He found it in you. He doesn't need the time because he knew what he wanted with his ex and with you, and you were what he wanted. So he didn't need that time. When you start seeing what the cheating and the unhealthy person, you need to be able to be healthy to find that next step.
Yeah, that's a great. And just to reiterate, we did not meet while he was in the relationship.
That's another thing that I was going to say.
We met 2 months later.
Right.
So, yeah.
A healthy person.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to keep relating that.
Normalcy,
It's
good
healthy.
people.
Yeah.
You know what you want. When you're like cheating on people, it's like you're wanting this, but you're wanting
It's because
this.
you have
you're
a lot
unhealthy.
of self-work to do.
Yeah.
Right.
So as you can tell, my trauma is still very deep-rooted. And when I hear when someone, they're like, we broke up, and I'm like, was he a narcissistic fuck? Did he cheat? They're all assholes.
One big thing, Tom Schwartz, she said he knew the whole time. His apartment was their safe space. Yeah, I think we all knew that.
I think we all knew that,
Yeah.
believe that. And you know, I just, I want Raquel or Rachel. I keep doing that.
What?
And I know that I don't want it to seem disrespectful when I call her Raquel.
Here's the thing. If she wants to be Raquel, she can be
well,
Raquel.
she
I
wants
don't
to
give a
be
shit.
Rachel because she feels like who she was as Raquel, and that could be deep-rooted, and she may have worked with an actual doctor. For me, I'm sorry, the name Raquel slaps. It just does.
It's funny now. It's wild now that people are going back to calling her Raquel because she wants to be called Rachel.
It's a little fucked up.
No, it's way
I'm
fucked
like,
up.
everyone
but
is
maybe
going
she's doing it
Raquel.
on purpose.
The one thing you wouldn't like of the episode, and then I'm done making points on her episode, she puts a lot on the producers as far as the scene with her making out with Schwartz. She said her going on a date with Peter. She said they previously had a date. It didn't work out, and she claims like the producers really wanted that. Same with the Schwartz thing. That she said they set up a table, there was lighting. So she puts a lot on the producers as far as that. She said, we were acting.
Producers set up lighting and cameras? You mean we're filming a television show?
At the wedding.
What the fuck? No shit, Sherlock.
Right. And so that was something, but I think overall it was
And by
pretty
the way,
good.
had they not set up the lighting, it would have really been an ill makeout session because it was like watching an uncle make out with his like
At the premiere,
niece. It was disgusting.
At the premiere, they kept cutting to that scene, and Lala's sitting next to me. She's like, "Ugh, I can't watch. Ugh, what did you say?" You're like, "It's like a grandpa making out with his
daughter,
his daughter, or something, his grandchild, or something." Yeah,
I said it's like watching a dad make out with his
that's
daughter.
what it. Yeah, that's what it was.
And his
Yummy.
glasses were all steamy.
Yes.
It was just really bad. And then Schwartzy was like holding his face at the premiere because they did keep cutting away from that.
Yeah.
I don't like when anybody blames anything on producers. I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't.
'Cause
We all
ultimately,
know
yeah.
the drill. We all know the drill. And then when the people have a tough time with it, we got to place the blame somewhere. You know? And let's not forget, like, I don't think people would have really cared that she made out with Schwartz. Like, I think the audience would have been, like, really team Raquel because she was coming into her own and she didn't really owe Katie much. I think that's where I think the audience would have been.
Wasn't that scripted?
What?
Was that brought up?
What?
Raquel said that the makeout with Sandoval was scripted.
Well, that's what she meant. That's what I meant when I said
With
she said
Sandoval
the
or
produ-
Schwartz?
Oh,
Or
wait,
Schwartz, sorry.
Oh.
Schwartz.
Yeah, when she said the producers were involved, she basically was like,
That's literally
Sorry.
what. Are you listening? That's literally what the whole
Yes,
conversation has been
because
about.
I was reading this thing. Some girl goes, first of all, Raquel's parents bought her the dog Graham for her birthday. It was a gift. She didn't go and buy a dog herself. So Lala calling her the B word is inaccurate.
I call everyone the
Also,
B word, bitch.
Pretty
Get over it.
hypocrite considering Lala slept with her boyfriend, being James, but it's like,
it's not. I wasn't your
this is-
friend, ho.
this is where I was reading.
Wait,
That's
hold
why
on.
I wasn't in
Please
tune.
tell me.
So this is what this girl's. Do I give her? This
Read
is
it
what
aloud.
I was reading.
And what's her name? Give her a fucking shout
Is
out.
this on Instagram?
Make her famous for 5 seconds.
Yeah, her name is It's Jazz XX Mado
Oh.
Kemagi. Just if you want, there she is going shit on her.
I don't think they can show it, but
She
read
goes
it.
first. All right, this was last night too. First of all, Raquel's parents bought her the dog Graham for her birthday. Well,
So both she and her parents are dumbasses.
Stupid
All
as
right,
fuck.
noted.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for
Both
that.
of them are uneducated.
It was a gift. Go get them a gift from the
shelter.
Stupid
right.
fucks. All right. So Lala calling her the B word is inaccurate. Also, pretty hypocritical considering Lala slept with her boyfriend.
What does that have to do with adopting a dog?
Yeah.
Me fucking James. What does that have to do with going to a shelter and getting a dog?
Then you have an issue with Raquel taking her pants off. Well, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Why would
kind
I
of.
not
When
have an
my
issue with
when my friend is sleeping upstairs in the bedroom, I got a little bit of a problem with some random hoe taking her pants off.
And then she goes, she's not saying it wasn't wrong. She's explaining what happened. The person who kissed Raquel was Sandoval, so you should be pissed at him. First of all, she, like I said, she was the one who walked to a locked door and then walked behind into the backyard. You are telling Sandoval, I can fuck you.
Let's be very clear.
You're not telling...
Number one, it was shitty of you to take your pants off.
Yes.
When your friend
But also
and his girlfriend is sleeping upstairs. It is very shitty of Sandoval.
No, it's shitty of them both, but she could have said no.
To think with his wiener. No, but he also shouldn't have made the move.
Exactly, but
you
also...
shouldn't have taken your pants off.
Yeah.
And he should not have said, and he shouldn't have taken the bait.
I agree. I also have to say, you take your pants off. That is not saying
and then
I can. That is not.
That's
not
called
saying
I don't want to
can
swim in my jeans.
You can fuck. Yes, you can fuck me. I should be able to. It'd be fucked up. But I'm just saying, if I'm with a guy and he's got a girlfriend, I would never do this. And I take my pants off and my shirt, fucked up. But I'm not saying you can fuck me. I'm saying you can fuck me when I say, hey, you can fuck me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
And let's be very clear. Sandoval, I gave the wrath to. Mm-hmm. The difference is Raquel disappeared. I was given no option to have a productive conversation with this person. So it's not that I'm still holding her feet to the fire and Sandoval gets off scot-free. It's that Sandoval was in front of me for us to have a productive conversation, which is exactly why I wanted Raquel to come back so that she could come into a place where dust had settled, time has passed, logic sinks in, and you have a productive conversation. Okay? Just because you have a cookie doesn't mean I'm a huge fan of yours, right? Like, I don't just support women, but I do prefer women over men. Okay? Doesn't mean I like all women. In fact, women are usually the ones that come for me. Mm-hmm. Usually, men are pretty cool to me. It's usually the chicks who are fucking assholes.
Yeah, it's all the chicks that say
and
I'm
usually
annoying too.
registered nurses.
Oh,
yeah.
not the RN.
I
They're
know.
the real see you next Tuesday.
Not the front line workers.
I know.
don't want
Don't get
you
sick.
ever coming
get
in and
sick.
making me feel better.
We love our nurses here at the Give Them Lala pod, okay?
We love
just-
our nurses, but I'm
not-
just saying when I click on their Instagram pages, it always says I'm an RN. And I'm like,
not
what
the
the
rude
fuck?
ones. Not the rude ones.
They're the ones
Yes.
that jam the needle into you rather than
Yes.
say, won't hurt a bit. What'd you do today?
Yeah.
Do you like Jell-O? They're the ones who don't give a damn,
Do you like Jell-O?
right? And their names are Beatrice.
Not Beatrice.
Not Beatrice. So although I appreciate, here's the thing, I always say the bitch word. Bitch, 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 bitch. Love a good bitch.
Love it.
I stand behind saying that you should adopt, not shop, for this girl, Jazzy XX bitch, to
defending
say.
to say her parents. It's like, well, the
Right.
apple doesn't fall far from the fucking tree, all right? What are you talking
Doesn't
about?
matter. Me sleeping with James, that seems out
Irrelevant.
of complete left field. What does that mean, left field?
It's like a baseball term, I think,
It's a
right?
baseball
Came
term.
out of left field,
Came
but
out
you always want it to come out of
I'm
the
gonna
right
ask-
field?
Yeah,
John-
that's it.
All right.
Producer
Left
John.
field is usually, it's out of nowhere.
nowhere.
Most people don't hit in left field. It's like statistically, you hit in right, center. Left field is wild.
All right, so yes, it was out of left
Yeah.
field.
And I have to say, I know this comes out before the premiere, but this is all I'm going to say. I'm very interested for all you guys being like, Lala, dragging Raquel. Why do you got to bully? There's not a lot of you, but I've just seen a couple. I'm interested to hear your feedback on what you think about the premiere in this season.
Here's
That's
the
all
thing.
I'm going to say.
I'm tough as it gets, but I'm also as soft as it gets.
You see that
And I
in
will
this
build a
in
bitch
the
up,
first
but I
one.
will tear a bitch down. All right?
Bam.
Just depends on how you step to me. It is what it is. I don't know how I'll be received this season, but you know what? I'm not really too worried about it because I'm off social media, so I won't even know what y'all say. If you like using debit over credit, don't you think it's time to also get rewarded? Well, now you can with Discover Cashback Debit.
It's a checking account that rewards everyone with cash back on everyday purchases, plus there are no fees, period. We're talking date nights, thrifting the latest trends, nights out with your friends, and it's now earning you cash back with Discover Cashback Debit. Check out eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Let's talk about very quickly. The premiere party was absolutely fantastic. It was
No, it was great.
It was
I enjoyed
surreal
it.
to walk in and be like, this is for our show.
It was incredible. The food, the ambiance, the florals.
All of it.
Did you notice that they changed the florals too?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
You guys didn't notice that?
No.
So when we got there was flowers,
amount of
a
florals.
certain amount, and then when
Okay.
they were starting the show, they brought one more. I don't know if you
Okay,
guys. I
Boosh.
know
It
when they
was
were bringing
like,
the food and stuff.
This
it
is
was
meet and greet florals. This is
Dang.
appetizer florals, dessert florals. I love it. That has Lisa Vanderpump written
I think that's
all
why. Yeah,
over
exactly.
it.
But
It was
well done.
stunning. Thank you for taking the crew,
Yes,
La.
thank you.
Oh, we took the whole crew.
Yeah.
I loved it. Teresa Giudice says the food in prison was so good. She often cooked for her fellow inmates, her specialty dishes. She cooked for 200 people, camp style. And she said that her most favorite thing in prison was the banana nut muffins.
So she living off that elderly commissary.
She said, I would have a banana nut muffin every morning, and then they ended up running out of them, and I was so mad. Well, Teresa, you ate them all. You ate them all, girl.
You were so mad. You know what? Cool. Good to hear, because I've only ever heard the food in prison is not great.
No.
I think that's for like
follow-
murderers.
No, still
She was in prison with like doctors, lawyers.
So she was in like a bougie prison area?
Yeah, there's like different kinds.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if you
crimes in
got, there's a
different kinds
lot of,
prisons.
Know this.
I don't know if anybody knows Pushisti,
No.
but he's in prison
Okay.
and
For?
like murder, I believe.
Okay.
But
Casual.
going through the steps, but he even like, you you live pretty nice in prison. I don't know how they're getting it in there. People got phones. People
Oh,
got,
yeah. Prison talk, baby.
oh my gosh. I watch people like
Yeah,
prison
have you-
TikTok. They're
Yeah.
making like burritos under their bed. It's looking
They're
like
very
Taco Bell.
resourceful.
No.
I will say I have a tremendous amount of respect for
So
Teresa Giudice.
I could see the food being money in there too.
Oh, especially with Tree, full on Italian,
Oh,
3-time New York Times
Bestseller?
bestsellers,
yeah.
cookbooks.
And she got the
yeah.
commissary. I'm telling you, she can get whatever she wants in there.
Oh yeah, she's
I'm gonna
Flippin'
err on the
si-
side that I don't want to try prison food, but good for everyone who
I want to
does.
try prison food out of side of prison.
I'm sorry. I just, for Teresa Giudice to have to serve prison time for something her husband did, you're a fucking gangster.
Mm-hmm.
And I have mad respect for you. You went in, you left 4 children behind. You held it together. You came out, look what you got. I mean, I love it. And she said she still communicates with some of her cellmates or people who were in prison with her.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
for
that's
her.
got to be a bonding experience.
Oh my
Right?
God, yeah.
Right.
They really know who you are.
They know. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
do.
They know her better than anyone
Yeah.
outside of prison.
That's
Guaranteed.
yeah. They see you at your most vulnerable moment, of course. Madonna's being sued for starting her New York City concert. I guess concerts late. 2 fans of Madonna filed a lawsuit against the singer on January 17th, accusing her of false advertising, negligent misrepresentation, and unfair and deceptive trade practices.
Don't sound
Suing
like
her
fans
for
to
being
me.
late or for not showing?
No, she was late.
Honestly,
Ain't fans to me.
have you never been at a concert where Little
they-
Wayne never showed?
I've been
and
to a
like-
concert where it's like 12 o'clock and then it's like 1:30 and you're like, all right.
Here's the
2 o'clock comes and you get them for 30 minutes and you're like, whatever.
They're high as
Got 'em.
fuck.
I know. They don't even sing. They're just walking around. It's just playing.
Madonna fans seem like squares.
Not fans.
kind of.
Yeah, they're not fans
Late?
from what I'm seeing.
It's Madonna. She can be late.
Let her be late.
She could come up on stage, smack her ass, walk off, and I'd be
And
like, I got my money's worth.
Bravo.
Yeah, I don't
Right?
give a
We're
fuck.
talking about
Madonna.
the woman who does Vogue. The
Yeah.
Vogue. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
dun, 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 hoo, 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 hoo.
Get it, girl.
Right?
Get it, girl.
I
But
mean,
yeah, no, I
Madonna
don't-
can do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
She could literally be 4 hours late, come out, take a shit on stage, and leave. And I'd be like,
A standing ovation.
Take a shit on stage.
there we
Right.
go.
Oh my God.
Kanye West got a new titanium grill.
I was looking at it.
dentures,
It
actually.
looks like it's AI on the
I'm
photo.
so over him. I've been over him for so long.
I cannot get enough of him.
I'm so sick of him.
It's
Cat
like
Williams
it's
said
like
it best.
watching a semi truck crash over and over
Yeah.
again, and like just hauling ass.
Well,
spinning
why are
down
these?
the
Well, I know,
405,
but it's like
taking everyone out.
why are
It's
these
gnarly.
people helping him recreate the semi after it crashes?
These people who
I
are
That's
don't
what I'm
helping
saying.
him.
Get off the fucking
Yeah.
semi. It's us that make him feel
We're
this way.
saying the
Get
F
off
word a
of it.
lot on this episode.
Are we?
Are we?
Not you, Jess.
No,
me and
I just
Easton.
said it though. I said hi as F.
It's because Ocean's been gone, and we save all of our F words for when she's gone because we can't say it when she's here.
I
I'm
thought you were
ahead-
going to say it's because Ocean's been saying it and it's just rubbing off on us.
Ocean just rubbing off on us. So we're
No.
Just,
But listen, they're fixed. So the rep says they are permanent. This goes way beyond veneers or grills, the source added. And his particular implant is quite unlike anything that has ever been done before because it's extremely hideous. He didn't say that, I added that. It's experimental dentistry, to say
Wow.
the least.
If I'm
Lovely.
going to experiment with anything, it's not going to be my teeth.
No,
that's
and have
like
you
the
seen
most
them?
painful thing.
They look like the wooden grills that people used to wear back in the day.
Yeah, I can't. They used to back in
you
the
for
day,
real?
like they used to have donkey teeth and like horse teeth
Ew.
In
Well,
dentures.
it looks like that,
or
except
dead
it looks,
people's teeth.
And
Because-
guess what, you guys? They were designed entirely by Ye with the assistance of medical and dental experts. I'm sorry, he should have been assisting the medical dentistryers. What do you mean?
Their assistants. It's all them.
It's all them. It's all them, and it only
George
costs you
Washington's teeth.
$850,000 if you want the titanium.
Are you
How
for
much?
real?
850 G's.
Oh no, thank
The
you.
things that you
Pocket
could.
change.
I'm so. I have two viewpoints on Kanye. Number one, I'm over him. He to me is like a walking baked potato. I'm like, what are you doing? And then on the other side, I feel bad because I know Northwest like is obsessed with her dad, and it's sometimes really sad to watch. She loves him so much, and it's just like you're gonna have a lot to deal with, and that's not my business, but that's just what
It is. It's kind of our business. We have a podcast and we have people to
True.
entertain. So
True.
you know what? The Kardashians are gonna have to take one for the
Well,
team.
I don't know what his girlfriend's wearing out and about nowadays. Like
Is
free
she-
top, her
his
titties
wife.
were
I
flapping
love
out.
it. I love her giant tits.
Would you like
flopping
her to be-
everywhere
I
with the
know.
tiniest
No.
little bit of nipple cover?
super tits.
I
Super
hate it.
tits.
I hate it.
You know what? Live your life. Bianca's her name, right?
Bianca, yep.
I don't know.
Sensory or something.
Bianca's gonna
Bianca,
have some
live your
back
life.
problems.
Oh, with those.
And they're real.
Stop it.
Oh.
They look very real to me.
Good for her.
Yeah, they're juicy.
Yeah.
Every time I see
slap,
boobies
slap.
like that, I'm like, I want
feel for
fake
you.
tits, and I'm gonna get them. I don't know if they're gonna be fake, but I'm gonna get something after I have my first
The
child.
thing is,
like a lip.
okay, because let me
Oh,
tell you something,
okay.
Jessica. You breastfeed
Yeah.
and they become
Windsock.
voluptuous and yummy, and then all of a sudden they deflate like little sad balloons.
No, they're like little windsock titties.
Like smaller than they were
Windsocks
before.
blowing in the air.
Wind socks.
Haven't you seen windsocks?
No, like the
Yeah,
Flags or whatever?
yeah, like a windsock flag. Just two little windsocks floating in the air.
Oh, we love all titties here on Give Them Lala
Oh,
podcast.
it's got a-
making that clear, even if they're wind
any
socks.
titty's a good titty.
No, I love
A
boobs.
boob with no titty's a good boob.
There we go.
How do you have a boob with no titty? You mean nipple?
Or yeah, well, isn't that a titty? The nipple. I call a nipple a titty. Does everybody not?
No, boobs
Titties.
are
No.
titties. What are you talking about?
A nipple's
Oh.
a nipple, and a titty is a titty.
There's
I don't
the
like
areola, there's the nipple, and then there's the breast.
that word.
So there's the titty areola.
Speaking of
and the nipple.
areolas, do you guys watch? Is it called Naked Dating on Netflix?
No, but I
No.
want to because
Oh,
you've talked about this a
I
lot.
talk about it so much. I am enthralled with it. I'm looking. You see vagina, penis, titty. You see every single thing.
blur?
And
So is
no,
it like? Is
and
it
the
Naked of
host-
Afraid without
Yeah, but like
Pretty much.
No, but they start at their feet and the penis, and the host will go in and she'll be like, "Oh, that's weird. That's quite a interesting willy."
Oh,
don't you think?
they have accents?
Yes.
Oh, so it makes it so classy.
Australian?
This would never film here. This is a UK show.
I
But
have
it's on
to.
Netflix. It's incredible. And I find myself commenting on the penises like, too much foreskin, not like on the vaginas. I'm like, interesting labia choice or like whatever.
Like she chose it. Like it was build your
God.
character.
No, that's me talking to God.
Give me
That's me talking to
the
God.
roast beef.
I can't. I'm so dead.
You have to-
Did you mean to make her labia this way? I don't know.
She picked it.
So funny.
I mean, you guys gotta watch it. Enthralled.
Okay, let's start watching it.
It's so good.
I don't know if I want to just kind of like sit down with my sister and mother and watch just naked people.
Well, I do it with Kyle, and it's
Well, you and Kyle
fiancé?
fuck each
Yeah, that
other.
makes
That's true. That's true.
It's like basically watching porn with your partner.
That's true.
I don't watch porn with my brother and my mother. I'm sure people would not be shocked if we did, but we don't.
Shocker.
Good to know.
Family night does not consist of that, but
Still
Cards
consistent.
Against Humanity, which Lisa is extremely inappropriate.
She wins every time.
She wins every time.
We now know
She
where
wins.
we get our minds from.
Because she's so funny.
She's
so
funny.
dirty.
I love her.
Give Them Lala is sponsored by BetterHelp. Around New Year's, we get obsessed with how to change ourselves instead of just expanding on what we're already doing right. Maybe you finally organized one part of your space and you want to tackle another. Or maybe you're taking your supplements every morning and now you want to actually eat breakfast too. Whatever your goals for the new year, therapy helps you find your strengths so that you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that really stick. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule, even if you've added some new routines in there. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Why wait for a new year when you can celebrate you and the changes you've already made right now? Therapy from BetterHelp can get you there and help you, love the journey, love this new year. Visit betterhelp.com/GTL today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com. BetterHelp.com/GTL.
Did you guys watch American Nightmare, the kidnapping hoax with Denise Huskin?
No, but can you tell us about this? Because, when you said kidnapping hoax, I thought you were talking about the hoax where they remembered there was a flying balloon and they said some child was inside of it.
No.
And there was a hoax? Do you
No.
not? There was
No.
a flying giant balloon and like everyone was chasing it because a family said our child's inside of it, and then it finally lands.
Like a hot air balloon?
Yeah, something like it's like a weather balloon, but like big enough. And then it finally lands in a field and there's no kid. And they're like, oh, it's a hoax. And it was like, there was so many people involved and the family was just doing it for fame. Anyway, keep going on here.
So
Do you get
You guys don't
weird.
remember this?
No. Where was
Producer
it?
John, do you remember that? Are you for real?
No.
Google it.
We'll put up a
There you
clip
go.
here. No, I'm just kidding.
It's on Netflix. I do remember it. Easton told me last night, watch Louder Milk,
Louder Milk. Have you ever
which I
seen
want to
it?
start watching.
Louder milk.
Louder Milk.
Louder
so
Milk.
It's a dude who, it's like a recovery. So they're in AA and his last name is just Louder Milk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's like
yeah, it's
22
funny.
minutes
Yeah, it's like
sitcom
Seinfeld
style
type
or whatever.
thing. So it's funny.
But he
Oh.
told me to watch that. But when I put Netflix on, they do the preview of like what's
They
new,
always get ya.
and I remember this hoax. And to be quite honest, I still thought to this day that these people made this shit up until I watched this 3-part series.
Okay.
Okay? So there's this woman. It starts with the boyfriend first, Aaron.
Okay.
And Aaron calls the police in the morning and says, my girlfriend was kidnapped last night. And he's like monotone. Like nothing, it doesn't even seem like a big deal. And they're so confused. And they go, well, what do you mean last night? People broke in last night and they took my girlfriend. Well, why are you only calling right now? Because I was tied up and they gave me a sedative. So they come and get him. They bring him in for questioning. He talks about how people broke into his house at 3 a.m. They zip tied their hands. They put swim goggles on them with duct tape. And he said he was cold. And the guy goes, oh, I'm so sorry, Aaron. I forget how cold it is in here because I'm wearing a wetsuit. He's telling the police this. And he goes, and then they put me on the couch. They took my girlfriend Denise and they took my car and left. They kidnapped my girlfriend. And this story seems so insane, right? Whatever. Cut to 48 hours later, Denise is found on a Ring camera walking up to her dad's house in Huntington Beach, which is 400 miles away from where this took place in Vallejo, California, Bay Area. So now they're like, I don't think he made it up. I think she made this up. And she has the exact same story. And it is heartbreaking. The only thing I hated about her episode was that they kept doing a close-up of this eyeball going like this.
Why?
And it made me, because they were like, I was in the trunk and I had these goggles on. And so they were doing, but it was like so many close-ups of an eyeball. And I was like, this has got to end. You've got to stop doing a close-up of an eyeball. I'm going to crawl out of my own skin.
Weird creative choice.
I really, really hated that part of it.
Okay.
Did it just make you sick, or was it like a visual, like you got like motion sickness?
It kind of both. It was just like, you shouldn't see an eyeball that close up for an extended period of time. Yeah, it's like, it's the entire screen, this eyeball.
And it's moving. Oh,
and it's a reenactment. Yeah. That's weird. It
was such a weird creative choice. So then she tells her story, exact same as Aaron. They threw me in a trunk. I was in there for a couple hours. I was then taken into a house. He was very kind to me, would take me to the bathroom. He was not violent, but then he came in and told me that his colleagues needed me to have sex with one of them because if we release you, there's a chance you could go to the police. So if you go to the police, we're releasing this sex tape. So she said I did not fight back. I knew that it would be violent then, so I just took it.
Oh, so she got assaulted. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
He comes back in again the next day and says, we have to redo it because my colleagues said that it doesn't look consensual. You need to look like you're my girlfriend. You have to enjoy it. You have to look like you enjoy it.
I'm sick to my stomach.
It is heartbreaking watching her talk about this. So she then says that he then comes in and says, it's time to release you. I'm taking you home. And she's shocked by it. She gets in the front seat. He gives her more of the sedative. They drive from Lake Tahoe, we find out, to Huntington Beach. And then the police, Vallejo police, start pinpointing it on her because it's so far-fetched. And she says that she was not sexually assaulted. Anyway, cut to the third episode, and it happens again. To a different family.
Wait, she said she wasn't sexually assaulted? I just want to get this
right.
right.
Because they would release the...
Because they were going to release the sex tape.
If she went to the cops, they'd release...
Yes, they also threatened her and her family.
Okay.
They said, we'll take care of you if you go to the police.
Got it.
We will always be watching you. So in the meantime, the police are putting out that Denise and her boyfriend, this is a hoax, okay? The kidnapper is actively writing this like Bay Chronicle, right? This writer who is keeping up on this story and putting out the stories, daily with updates. And he's emailing this writer saying it's not a hoax. The Vallejo police have X amount of hours to acknowledge that this is real or I will do this again. He says, I'm in the military. I have PTSD. I went to this college for this. Like, he's giving details about himself. It's like he wants people to know that what she's saying is real. So anyway, they then show in the third episode, Dublin, California, 40 miles outside of Vallejo. This happens again. However, the kidnapper at this point in time runs away, but he originally was going to kidnap this random daughter, right, of this couple who calls the police. He left duct tape behind, something else, and a cell phone. They use the cell phone to call someone. It happens to be his mother, right? She goes, oh yeah, that's my son. He's staying at my house in Tahoe. They roll up to the house. They collect evidence. There's evidence of the sedative. There's evidence of this room that looks very sketchy, and the police are thinking this is very scary.
Adding up.
They find a bag in the back of his car. that has the fucking goggles and a strand of hair that leads back to this Denise Huskin. I am so utterly terrified of the police.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just the legal system. Like, to watch what these people went through. She goes, it was so crazy because I was so excited to be released. I thought that the kidnapping was the worst part. And she goes, come to find out, what was waiting at home was law enforcement thinking that I made this up. And they tried to paint her out as like a whore and like a piece of trash. And even when they would write Vallejo police, send the emails that the guy from the Chronicle was getting saying, I didn't make this up, no fucking response from them. Shame on the fucking Vallejo police.
What year was this?
Then
2015.
So then hold on, this was proven, yet it's not then blasted all over the news like they were wrong, this wasn't a hoax. So even someone like you who was paying attention to the story was like, wait, I thought it was a hoax.
Yeah, well, now it's everywhere,
well,
obviously,
yes,
since this came out.
Oh,
devastating.
That is horrific. Oh, my God.
They asked, so Denise's lawyer asked for a rape test to be conducted on her. Mm-hmm. And the Vallejo police said, we'll only do that if she gives us a statement. It's like, are you, like, this isn't
tit for tat.
No, this needs to happen immediately. And come to find out, it did show that she had intercourse in the last 48 hours.
Horrific.
It's wild.
Oh,
like, they don't
sick.
care who did it. They just want to pin something on somebody so they can say case closed. It's wild to me. So I just want to put out there that anybody in law enforcement or the legal system who's out in these streets, like really doing God's work and seeking justice and listening and putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and not just to close the case, but to really find the truth. Like, those people deserve a lot of credit and they deserve to be acknowledged.
And thank you. And also bravo to
Sorry,
these
that was a really long story.
No, that was like,
was
I'm
very well
going to
said.
watch it. Bravo to these documentarians, these podcasters, all these creatives coming out of the woodwork, because we have platforms now making stuff like this.
No,
like,
really,
this
though.
is the
It's
stuff.
crazy.
Bravo. Because, like,
Bravo.
the murder podcast, things are being solved because there's, like, you know, internet investigative people, and just, like, bravo for the creatives.
What do they call them?
Who make keyboard, no, not warriors. That's a bad.
They're called it's
Armchair
called
experts or something?
no.
I really do want to know the
Oh.
name of it, because it is like the people that do it have brought a lot of people to
No,
justice.
I know. I'm
You
Yeah.
know, like re-bringing up cases that are like, hey, we just saw this and we thought it was weird.
Civilian
Somebody sees it,
journalism
and then
or
it's,
something. Or
Yeah,
it
it's
kicks off a whole
incredible.
new thing.
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Shout out
all
to
of
them.
it.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the reunions of Utah?
Yes, part 2
Salt
and
Lake.
part 1.
How do we feel?
Yes.
I felt
yeah.
I-
Felt like Utah.
Wild, right?
Did it feel like Utah to you? Like everything was like, it's just the same.
A bunch of
it's like
very bored
vortex.
people
Yes,
in a
it's-
bubble. Yes.
right?
Mhm.
was that what it
Don't
felt?
talk on my business. I'm a staple in Salt Lake. It's like, all right, fucking who
Housewives,
cares?
though, I gotta say, fresh in my mind right now is, and I'm saying this because my tune has changed a little since we last talked about it, is Monica's mom.
Psychopath.
She's
I'm
nutcase.
Horrified, and I said last time, I was like, oh, they're both the same, and Monica, and I did say, like, oh, Monica had to grow up with that. My stance now is like, that's trauma. Having a
Yeah.
mother like that, having someone leave like that and say, bye-bye, I'm going to chase my dreams. And it's like,
And then live her dream through you.
yeah, I'm
in a
heartbroken.
sense.
And then the prayer saying, for the housewives,
Yeah.
crying on your mother's couch. Monica's crying on her mom's couch saying, I don't think I got it, blah, 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 I'm heartbroken. The mom says, let's say a prayer. And she prays that the mom, would become a housewife.
Yeah.
Why
It
the
is
fuck would she become a housewife? Does she
horrifying.
know? I mean, I'm
She's,
not
like,
trying to
very
talk
old,
shit, but
too.
like, yeah, she's nothing. I don't want to look at her, and I don't
No,
think she's pleasant to hear speak.
No.
It was
She's-
heartbreaking.
No,
But
she's
see, this is-
volatile.
But this is where I get a little bit
I don't even know her name.
like, I don't really know how I feel, right? Because let's take Raquel. We have no idea what her home life was like, what she experienced in school. Monica, she's now opened up about what a toxic mom she grew up with. You sit there and you're like, yes, we've all been dealt shitty hands, and it's all about how you deal with it, right? But I couldn't help but feel so heartbroken for her and be like, well, no wonder you are the way you are. But at some point, like you can't blame your bad actions on your upbringing. But at the same time, I come from a place of such privilege, and I had such an incredible upbringing. And even though I may not be trolling people on the internet, I've certainly done other things that I'm not proud of. So it's like, at what point do you practice compassion and sympathy and empathy for someone because of maybe what they've been through, but also like keep your guard up? It's and it's kind of what I struggled with this season, and finding a softer spot for Raquel, because I don't know what she went through as a child, like sometimes we just fuck up because we're human. Other times, like, we look at the world differently because we were raised much different than maybe, our friends were.
No, I agree with you. And I don't think it's such a clear-cut line. I think it is like, no, I don't think it can be an excuse for your actions. Let's just talk about Monica. But at the same time, we also have to realize, like, oh, wow, she went through something with that woman that a lot of us didn't. And we don't know, or people who haven't experienced that, I will never know what it's like to be raised like that. And just the things that are programmed into your mind and your brain that is probably so difficult to unlearn. So it's like, I think it's the same thing. I think it's like, we're not saying, she's fine, she made this mistake, let's give her an excuse because she is a shit mom. But we're also realizing, like, damn, she's been dealt a shitty hand with that mom, and she maybe made these mistakes because of it,
Yeah.
Same with Rachel. I hear you with Rachel. Like, we don't know what she went through, her upbringing. That's with all of us.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And so for me, maybe a few years ago, even a few months ago, someone could come and tell me their sob story, and I'd be like, we've all dealt with shit, But I just don't know that I want to think that way anymore.
That's great.
Because I don't really appreciate when I'm trying to explain where I'm coming from and someone tells me we all have our shit. It's like,
everybody's
right,
shit
so let's
stinks
be
different.
let's be a little easier on each other.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody comes from, that's the one thing I always say. Emotions are personal. You can't tell me that my emotions are misplaced because they're personal.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yours are the same. So it's like, you got to come from that place of understanding, because everybody may not explain their emotions the way you may explain the way their emotions are. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like that. It's just tough.
It's very tough. I do think there is a chance that Monica will come back next season.
I have a really good feeling
do.
if Monica can dismiss her mom and make
Yes.
a really good comeback, I think she will make a very good season 2 for herself, and even 3. I think she'd have longevity in it.
Yeah.
But she has to dismiss her mother, because I feel like she's a puppet for her mom right now.
That mom is
That
like
mom is a fucking
beyond.
nightmare.
Well,
we got to
that's-
stop saying the F word, East.
Sorry.
That's a abusive relationship. I mean, that's all. Like she said, people are like, why didn't you cut her? I forget who said it. Why didn't you let her come on the show after she talked like that? And Monica's like, yeah, I'm used to it. That was my mom.
I loved when she said that.
Yeah.
And Andy, she goes, I think it's maybe
see.
because I'm so used to it. And he goes, yeah. You are.
And what I can't remember, I think it was Lisa, and she goes, I kept asking, why do you not want us to like your mom? And you just kept saying, you'll see it. And I can understand that, because when you're asked that, and I'm just coming from that point, it's like, she's done so much shit. It's like, I'm being asked, and in the moment, it's like, I don't even know which one to pinpoint. So you'll see. And even Andy was like, you've seen, you saw. And I like that he said that too, because it's just like, holy shit, you can't even pinpoint one thing. She's done so many things.
I ran into someone who's in the Housewives circle, like production and for Salt Lake. And just when I said, you cannot have her back. And keep in mind, right now, you guys are going to see, maybe even throughout this season, even on this podcast, that it seems like I'm a bit of a flip-flopper. Like, I'll go really heavy in the paint, and then I kind of ease up a bit, and then I may go heavy in the paint. It's because I'm not quite sure how to navigate things. I'm feeling very torn on how to be soft and let people in, but also deal with the things that I've dealt with. And, kind of retrain myself to not have a permanent wall up. So just roll with me in this moment where I am practicing compassion and going like, I get it. When I met this guy, I was like, you cannot have this woman back. And he just kind of sat there and smiled like, we'll see.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I was going to say also thank you for that journey. I love you. I know you've been calling it flip-flopping, but allowing people to see that, it's like we're all changing our minds all the time, and it makes it just a safer space for us to be like, you know what? I don't feel that way anymore. I know I said this yesterday, but today.
Flip-flopping. I think it's called growth.
Well, that's what people call it. I don't call it flip-flopping. And here's the thing. I'm not a politician. I'm not like, out in these streets being like, I'm your new candidate for the Democratic Party. Oh, wait, guys, I think I might be a Republican. Like, I'm just out in these streets trying to understand life and emotion. And I'm really tired because, like, the human mind is a lot.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. And sometimes I want to hang my mind, my personality, my face on the door and be like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. You're annoying.
Walking away for a minute.
Welcome to my life.
But unfortunately, I have bills to pay. So here I am. Let's quickly touch on BH. So we're back at the homeless, not toothless event. Erica is hit on by her dentist. I totally relate. Erica probably goes to her dentist with giant sunglasses on, hair in a bun, no makeup. Here's my grill. Now here she is at this event looking absolutely fabulous. The dentist doesn't recognize her. She's like, what's your name? He's like, Dr. So-and-so. And she goes, I'm your patient. He was like, you look beautiful. She's like, thank you. No, you really look beautiful. Thank you.
I know.
Thank you. I totally relate. It's like the people in the building that are like,
are
you? Hold up.
Oh,
are you sure you live here?
You with the dog.
Yes, exactly. I learned Anne Marie is very annoying. The most annoying. She's very into talking about how she is a nurse, that she's in the medical field. I need it to end. I need it to end. Guess what, bitch?
We're back on the nurses.
Right back to
You
the
are
RN.
officially not in the medical field. You're just a housewife. That's all we know, yes. You're a housewife. Once you sign up for any type of Bravo show, this is your identity.
Yeah.
Right.
All right? So get used to it. If I hear her say one more thing about being in the medical profession, I'm going to lose my mind. So much so that Crystal becomes upset because, the esophagus thing with Sutton. This Anne Marie keeps bringing it up. And she goes, I looked it up for hours on end and it doesn't exist. And the only way that happens is if you have an eating disorder. And of course, Crystal has been open about her eating disorder. So she goes, you cannot get out of this bubble of the medical profession. It's actually because you are labeling that someone has an eating disorder when Crystal clearly has had one. And you don't just throw that out there. Also, as someone who watched their dad, like we've talked about, it's very much a real thing. And so Crystal looks it up and it actually is a real thing and it's genetic, which is all what Crystal or what Sutton had said. And Crystal goes, it's just crazy that this woman in the medical field took hours of research. And I freaking Googled it and found it in 5 minutes. She goes, so it seems like I'm also in the medical field.
Right? Does she just say it just so she can be something else and be smarter or looked at as brighter than the other housewives?
Maybe. Yeah, probably.
Give you a leg up because you're in the medical field. You better listen to it. It's like what we talk about has nothing to do with the medical field. So whatever.
Well,
who cares?
I guess she also told Crystal when they first met that she was an anesthesiologist and she's actually not. And she said, I'm a doctor and she's actually not.
An anesthesiologist, they make the most money in the medical field.
Well, she's married to a professional, an ex-professional football player, I think.
Yeah.
Who's very
as long as
cute.
they're in love, great. But anesthesiologists have to go through the most medical field because if you give too much, those are the people who are coming in and giving you just the right amount.
Honey, I've had a boob job, a couple of them.
You can kill somebody. Your insurance as an anesthesiologist is $1.5 million a year.
Yes.
Just for your insurance.
That's what I went to college for. That was my first.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, we talked about this. She's not an anesthesiologist.
She's not.
No, else she'd still be doing that over the housewives.
But at the very beginning, she said she was one.
Yeah.
So let's make it clear. Crystal has outed her and said that is not what she is. Mauricio didn't go. So Kyle's best friend since childhood ends up committing suicide. It is devastating. She has this beautiful event for her that's not only a celebration of life, but also for NAMI, which is National Alliance of Mental Illness. And Morgan Wade performs, and her friend Lorraine's mom is hugging Kyle. They're obviously devastated. Mauricio's not there, but Mauricio appears at this homeless, not toothless event, which, you guys, I don't want to speak too much on the homeless, not toothless, because it goes back to the Kathy Hilton thing. But I just find it weird that it's like, we'll leave you without a home, but not a grill.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd rather you house these people.
Yeah, but a grill might get them a
Homeless,
home.
not toothless.
That's true.
I thought it was toothless and not homeless for the longest time. And I'm like, I guess that's fine. And then I'm like, it's homeless, not toothless.
They're like, you know what?
We're going to give them a home.
You're going to be living in this box, but
Why
you're
can't
going
we
to have
just drop
pearly whites.
Why can't you just drop the home?
I
and
need
just
to
say
do
not
more research
toothless?
before I'm clowning on
I
it, but they
know.
got to change the name.
Yeah.
It's not a good name.
It is horrific.
It's not a good
But anyway,
name.
Mo goes to that, but was working out of town for like this celebration of life of his wife's best friend.
And supporting a mental illness. Yeah.
He's just really not hitting for me.
I know.
He
Too
used
big
to
for
be
his
so
britches.
hot, and now I look at him and I'm like, you're pathetic.
Yeah.
And I look at her like, damn, bitch, you look cool.
She's killing it. She's
no,
killing
she
it.
looks very good.
She's
Yeah.
better,
like I never
better
really
every year.
like I saw her. She was always pretty, but like she's
she is
she be
on
smacking.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
on a
she looks-
different level.
Yeah, I think it's the confidence is carrying
is.
right now.
But also, she said, after my friend died, I realized that life is too short for me to be around people I don't want to be around and to be around people who do not appreciate me. She also goes into, I will always have a place in my heart for Los Angeles, but I enjoy being outside. I enjoy going on hikes, being in the outdoors. So when Portia is done with school, I want to be somewhere where I can enjoy that. I think her eyes have been opened.
Yep.
She does not care about the fluff any longer.
Good
Where
for
do
She
you
her.
think
just
she'll
wants
go?
to be happy and
Is she
enjoy her life.
Tennessee.
Is that what you think?
I just think Tennessee. I just have like a feeling or something. Nashville, like outside of Nashville, or like maybe
Maybe
Montana.
even Aspen, though. She
Aspen,
has
yeah.
a home in Aspen. Anyway, let's move on to the ache and relief of the week.
I love it.
Jessica, would you like to start us off?
Sure. My ache is friend guilt, which you know what? I'm not going to get into because tune in, you guys, to the next bonus episode that drops because that is going to be discussed.
Okay. I love it.
My relief was the premiere. It was so much fun.
I love that.
Love the episode. I know this comes out a few days before. You guys are going to love the premiere episode. I encourage you to watch it with an open mind. I've never been more proud of you, La.
Thank you. I love
January
you, Jess.
30th, right?
Yep, January 30th, the premiere. Easton, what's your ache and relief?
My relief is also the premiere, seeing all of the hard work that you put in and, going and watching you film and come home and talking about scenes. We now get to see what it was,
Yeah.
So that is my relief of like,
Easton's never lived here, so
Yeah.
I just
I
kind of
know.
go out and do my thing. It's never really
I've
talked
never
about. Now
really-
he's like boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Can you watch Ocean? I got to film.
so I see like her coming home and like it takes a toll on a lot of people. So I'm excited. The relief is like that you're done with it and we get to see everything about it. So I'm excited for that. That is a relief of the week, the month, or anything. So
I
for
love
that,
it.
and I'm excited to see you because every scene I saw you in, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I loved every scene and
thank
people
you,
will see
T.
why. And then my ache is I was really thinking hard about it and I was like, you know what? The ache is like I'm going on more of like New Year's resolution and like growth.
Okay.
And when you grow, close people say it's change and you're changing on them. So it's like maybe like the friendship guilt. It's touching on that almost of like, I'm trying to grow, but while I'm doing this, my friends maybe think I'm changing and I'm trying to grow while not putting that stress on friendship or family.
Totally.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I'm trying to take time for me
Okay.
without making other people feel like they're not important.
Okay.
So like it's the guilt of that and me trying to find that happy medium of taking care of me and growing.
I want you to
but not
save a little
changing.
bit of this for the bonus episode.
Okay, I can stop right
Tune
there.
in,
Yeah.
you guys. It's the next bonus one, the
Done,
one on the
done.
29th.
Wow, we're kind of all on the same page because my ache was going to be one of my guilts, but I think we'll save that and
Okay.
I'll pick a different one. My ache of the week is I was watching the reunions of Southern Charm, and as you guys know, Shep sat behind me at BravoCon, and he was very drunk, and it was intense. Well, the second part of the reunion, he opens up to the group about BravoCon. He says he was blacked out the entire time. Austin was really trying to make him presentable. Andy kind of weighs in and says, like, it was really, really bad. It scared Shep a lot, which makes me very sad because I did see him at BravoCon. And I know that feeling of being so drunk that you cannot get any drunker. It is not fun. It is not, this is Vegas. It's called, this is my everyday. And I don't want to label Shep, but with what he was saying, it really broke my heart. And so it seems like he's leading up to telling the group that he's sober. Well, he doesn't say that. He says, I am not going to be drinking hard alcohol and shots anymore, just beer. And the group looks just like so defeated by this. And Craig, who's been a dear friend of Shep's for many years, Craig was a hot mess. He has his life together now. He's killing it. But he says to him, you are driving on a road that ends with a cliff, and I have to get out of the car. I cannot participate any longer. So my ache is for Shep and really anyone who's struggling. If you think that you have a problem, don't say I'm going to give up hard alcohol and only drink beer, because that is not a fix. My ache is, my heart breaks that he went through that at BravoCon. I wish that I could have been a support to him. And I really hope that he really gives up drinking, because I think he's going to live a really beautiful life when that happens. Only drinking beer and wine is not the answer.
No.
Giving it up is the answer. My relief is that I have been off social media and I feel just really happy about it. So going back to what we talked about at the beginning, I'm mentally tough. I'm in a really great space. I, again, don't know how you guys will receive this season. And I can't really care.
Mm-hmm.
This is my real life. I have to make sense of my life, and you guys will be on a really intense journey with me this season. I think the first episode is going to be very different from how you last saw me on television at the reunion. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being called a flip-flopper, X, Y, and Z. Again, this is my real life, and you guys see the entire journey of me really coming to grips and finding peace in what my reality is and accepting my reality and saying, bitch, this is what it is and it's not going to change. So what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, wow, that got very intense.
I'm excited to see your growth
Yeah.
this season.
We'll see. I go from very compassionate to fuck this bitch. I said the F word again too.
And the
So
B
we're
word.
just
All
trying
in
to
one.
find
But here
some
we are.
balance and do the whole thing. It's a lot, and I hope you participate in this journey with me.
Sorry about the F-bombs.
It's really an up and down roller coaster. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. I will catch you guys next week.
Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and I will catch you next week.